Are your flooring solutions causing costly delays and inefficiencies? Today, we're tackling a common but often overlooked issue in manufacturing: flooring that doesn't hold up to the demands of your facility. Welcome to the Manufacturing Connector, your go to resource for solutions that are transforming the future of manufacturing. I'm your host, Jim Mayer, and today's episode is all about revolutionizing your work environment from the ground up, literally. Our guest is Tom Ricciardelli, president of SelectTech, a company known for creating innovative flooring solutions made from recycled materials. SelectTech's unique interlocking flooring products, including their static stop and freestyle lines, are designed to be environmentally friendly, easy to install, and ideal for high moisture and problem subfloors. Tom will walk us through how SelectTech's products are solving flooring challenges for manufacturers, from providing anti-static properties for sensitive electronic environments to delivering durable surfaces that reduce installation time and costs. Let's get into how SelectTech's flooring solutions can transform your facility's performance while being sustainable and cost effective. Tom Ricciardelli, welcome to the Manufacturing Connector. How are you doing today?
I'm great. Yeah, thanks for having me here.
Absolutely, man. Glad we're able to do this. Glad you're here to share with us. Tom, give us a little bit of background on you. How'd you end up to where you are today?
Yeah, I walked a very convoluted path, but I'm a chemical engineer by training to education, and also have a business degree. And I'd always wanted to work in the environmental field, and but also in the chemical field and materials field. And I kind of worked for a chemical company for a little while, and then due to a personal issue, I had to move, and I stumbled into a company that was trying to recycle plastics from medical waste, which of all things. It was a
Yeah.
very interesting job. I got dragged into helping build a factory that actually did it. So it was kind of interesting. We had to disinfect material and then recover plastic from it. And I learned a ton from that, and gave me some ideas about what to do next, and started SelectTech. And our mission was to make product with hard to recycle materials. So the medical waste kind of got me thinking about those things that people wouldn't necessarily try to recycle,
Wow.
but still there was a need for it. So that was SelectTech's, impetus. That was the sort of the seed that got us started. We ended up inventing a number of different products, from decorative planters made with pallet wrapping, which are basically indestructible. We made this landscape timber that looked like an enormous Lego block. It was 8 feet long, 5.5 inches square. You could build walls with it using some old different materials. We had sort of a unique blend of that. We had a lane divider system that we made for a German company that was made with old wire insulation. And then we stumbled into flooring through a relationship with a DuPont company. They wanted to recycle a carpet waste back into a flooring product. And they had heard of us. They were like, wow, these guys are taking stuff and making something out of it. They came to us and we said, sure, we will give it a try. And we have two interlocking products. We invented them kind of with that relationship. And then that launched us into flooring. So just kind of from one thing to the next,
Wow.
really always trying to create a home for something that was tough to recycle.
Sure. That's amazing, Tom. That really is. So talk to us a little bit more about the flooring solutions that you guys offer, and what kind of environments those can go into.
Yeah, it's sort of funny. And again, another part of the convoluted path. We didn't know much about flooring when we got into it. We just knew that DuPont wanted something. So we thought about our technology, what it was good at, what it wasn't good at. Our technology it's called injection molding, and that gives us the ability to make a three-dimensional shape. Most flooring is extruded, which is really 2 dimensions. It's like a sheet or like a flat tile. But because we could make 3 dimensions, we could add interlocks. We could add a third, that complicated structure that keeps things connected together in different ways. And we thought, geez, anybody would want this. And we thought we could sell it into the regular commercial market, office space, even into residential. And then
Sure.
as we got into the industry and our relationship with DuPont disbanded, they had sold that division to the Koch brothers, and Koch brothers wanted nothing to do with what we were doing. So they kind of shed it off, and we were kind of, now what do? We need to figure out flooring. So We learned very quickly and in the hard way that most flooring is a very price competitive business on the one hand. On the other hand, our product was way overbuilt. So for residential and sort of normal commercial use. So we realized we had a product that could be used in industrial applications. It's incredibly tough, more expensive than a residential version product, but it's going to totally outperform it. And we can take fork truck traffic and pallet jacks and a kind of abuse. And we also realized that when you look at the value of a flooring product, there are sort of two major components. There's the product and then the installation. And normally they're like a 50-50. So if you look at a project, you're going to spend half your money on the product, half your money on installing it. When you get into industrial applications, that installation component is more for a lot of different reasons.
Yeah.
And one of the biggest ones is downtime, right? So shutting your factory down costs lost money, lost revenue, lost profit, all those bad things, right? Including could be lost customers. If you shut your factory down, you can't meet your customers' demands, they might move on. So we realized that this product we had invented, thinking we could sell it to homeowners, was actually an ideal fit for industrial applications. And so we kind of ventured into those paths, which is a very different marketing path. The sales and distribution is very different. We kind of stumbled along, like I said, convoluted path. We had to learn the way, learn how to sell it, learn who would buy it. I mean, the whole thing. And we've had really good success with it. Generally speaking, our success came from our customer satisfaction. It wasn't necessarily that we were pushing this product into a market. It was, we would get a customer and they would be just like, this is exactly what we needed. And that would lead to another sale and to another customer. And then before we knew it, we were in the business. So, yeah.
That's awesome. So walk us through some of these success stories that you have with your flooring solutions in manufacturing.
Yeah, and so one of the things, and you noted on it, we make anti-static versions of our product, static control. They're actually, from a static control standpoint, they're the best in the class. I mean, we took that aspect of the product and really went hard on it. We didn't want to have something that was, kind of control static. No, this meets all the most stringent requirements. Sort of the case study behind that was we were making product for, I won't use names, but a company that sells home audio and stereo equipment. And they used to have a business where they would install your car stereo. And they had a little garage in all their stores. And they loved our product for those garages. And it had no static properties. It was just, they liked it because it was durable, easy to install. They could get it done without shutting down this part of the store, met the need. And then they came to us and they said, we love your product, the way it goes in, the way it performs from a durability standpoint. But we have an area in the store where we repair things electronically, and that needs to be static control. Can you make that? And of course, we said, sure. That was not easy, but we thought we were sort of stupid, but we thought it would be, and we figured it out after a lot of trial and effort. And like I said, we killed it. Like, we didn't want to just sprinkle some fairy dust in our product. We made it best in class, passes all the tests, really provides phenomenal static control in high-tech environments. And that was our first customer, and it brought us into the market. So that's a case study where customer asked and we delivered. And we wanted to do that because of all the things I just said. Is, we recognized that we needed to be a unique industrial product, not a residential, 9 million homes product. And so when we found these applications where the value of our interlock added a value to the customer, we want to do those things. So this was right up our alley. We went after it, and that got us into the static control business.
Wow. And so for Selectech, who is your ideal customer? Who do you prefer to sell to, or who are you targeting when you're doing your marketing efforts?
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to minimize the little companies, but I mean, for us, it's great when we get into a large company, technically oriented business that has a lot of factories. And like I said earlier, our sales and marketing kind of it was born out of a happy customer, became another happy customer. So we have customers with multiple locations, international, and they specify our product for their factories. They know it meets the need. They know we stand behind it. It's from a and we sell a lot of static control products. So I'm talking about big aerospace companies, automotive electronics manufacturers.
Yeah.
Those are some of our core customers. And those customers, their requirements, both from a durability standpoint and a static control standpoint, are way up here. They can't have product failure for a number of different reasons, as you can imagine.
Yep.
And they like us. I mean, that sign that says it all, right? Because they are the most stringent users, and they test the products. That we test them, they test them. Everybody's testing them. It's got to live up to the bill, and we do. So we love those customers. Now, that's, like I said, that's not to say that we don't like a company that has one factory and they have our need. We'll help them too. From a personal standpoint, I love helping customers technically. I think my whole team does.
Got it.
We just like to get into the nitty gritty. So from a static control standpoint, I personally chair the flooring committee at the ESD association that writes all the standards.
Wow.
And I love that because I get to interact with all these people that have problems, and we talk about them, and I understand the needs. And my whole team at Selectech understands those needs too. And so I hate to say it, but our favorite customers are the ones with a lot of problems. We just get a lot of satisfaction out of getting them what they need.
Yeah. And how big is your company? How many employees do you have?
We actually only have 7. We've partnered with a couple of contract manufacturers to make our products, so they have lots of people run 24 hours a day and get us what we need. It's been a pretty good model for us.
Good.
Yeah, it works.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Tom, I think you have a quick video kind of highlighting the flooring itself and how easy it is. Can you play that for us and kind of talk us through what's going on in the video? Sure can.
Yeah, so this is a factory. It's an automotive electronics manufacturer. That business is exploding. More and more electronics in automobiles every day.
Yeah.
When we first started doing business with them, I think they were making mostly the engine control modules that, the electronic ignition, which is a little circuit board. Now they make, the headlights because they're LED or electronic, everything that's sonar, the LiDAR, these companies are exploding. So they can't shut down ever. 365 days a year. It's kind of a unique environment. Unbelievably high quality. Their Six Sigma programs are state of the art. Everything is perfection. And their flooring, the one that you see in the forefront of this video, was not testing from a static control standpoint. It looks reasonable. You can see some patches in it, but you wouldn't say, "Oh my gosh, that floor is horrible." But when you test it from a static control standpoint, it failed. So now they're stuck, right? So in the conventional world, you would shut the factory down, remove the equipment. So the top right of this video is a production machine making electronics. And it's running. They have not shut it down. And same with on the left side, there's more production equipment that's continuing to be in operation. In a normal world, you would have to remove all those from the room. You would take them right out. You would then have to grind the old coating off the floor with this grinding equipment. To the best of your ability, you would try to contain the dust created from that, which is never 100%. You would then have to remove any additional dust that is around from the environment because you can't get that into those machines.
Right.
You then have to coat the floor again, which takes several applications and days. Let it cure, put the machinery back in, which is all finely leveled and set up. Turn it back on, go through a startup procedure. I mean, you're talking weeks of downtime.
Yeah.
And you can see here our tiles. And I'll get to the real crux of the story is us. That's our product. It's called our Freestyle. It has a hidden interlock, which we invented. You can't see it in this video, but those tabs that stick out, the black flaps that are on the edge, have a zigzag interlock, which this is a very nuanced thing in interlocking flooring. No floor is perfectly level, especially in large areas. And if you try to interlock a conventional interlock in a large space, it will go offline and you won't be able to snap it together at some point. The lines go off It's not the tiles don't line up. Our zigzag actually pulls it together and
Interesting.
self-corrects. Yeah, and it's the
Wow.
only interlock in the world that does that. The other nice thing about our interlocking system is because it's a full flap, I'm calling it, it makes it liquid resistant. So a lot of interlocks in the market, they don't have that, we call it overlapping feature. And when you mop the floor, water goes through. It just does. So this product has a lot of sort of little nuances built into it that make it a very robust product. You can see they're not beating the heck out of it to put it together.
Yeah.
It's designed to go together very easily. And the other thing about that zigzag interlock is that it keeps it very stable horizontally, so side to side, which allows you to drive fork trucks over it. So
Wow.
it seems easy, like it almost seems like, geez, it's too easy to put together. You can't, be demanding on it, but you can, right? So all these tiny little features that get designed into a simple interlock add up, and we learned it the hard way. That product that you see there was several iterations. It's been improved time and time again over the years, and we think we've got a pretty nice product
That's
that
awesome.
gets customers what they need. And then the final thing about it, which seems, it's sort of the moral of the story for a static control product, those tiles have to connect electrically to each other so that a charge on a person goes into the floor and then gets carried to ground. And so that whole interlocking system is designed to be electrically connecting.
Wow.
Again, subtle little nuance of a feature, but again, it all adds up to be a product that does what it's supposed to do reliably.
So, I mean, I could do it. My 10-year-old could do it, right? Like, this looks amazing. They don't have to move machines, and so does that mean that that this room is then done after they finish the rest of this flooring? They don't have to like go under the machines at all. All you have to do is cover the parts where the humans are walking.
Yeah, that's a customer's preference. They do not have to
Okay,
go under the machines. Sometimes customers want to, and they'll lift the machine. You can just lift the machine enough to get tiles to go underneath it. That
sure,
is an option, but then you have to re-level and things like that. But if it's just workbenches, we do have customers that will lift the benches a little bit, get the tiles
sure.
under there, but you don't have to.
Wow,
Just depends on the customer's preference. You made the point that anybody can do this. Those people putting the floor in are the production workers. They are not flooring installers. They're employees of the company that's using the floor.
that's awesome.
Yeah, no special training, really no special tools.
Yeah,
And that floor is, as an ESD floor, is functioning right now. It's like it's
wow,
snapped the tiles together and it's working. So they have instant static protection.
that's amazing. So, Tom, when you look at this shop, this facility, the ROI for that manufacturer has to be astronomical, right? They're not shutting down. There's no downtime. They're using their existing workforce. Talk to us about that ROI to a manufacturer that you see on a regular basis.
Yeah, so our product, it sells for around $15 a square foot. That's give or take. And we have this whole spreadsheet that goes through, okay, here's this option with our tile, so much per tile per square foot. The installation cost is, assuming you're using your own people, it's like zero. And then we compare it to the option of removing things from the room, grinding the floor. And our product is less expensive at that point,
Yeah,
right, than the other option because of all the headaches, whatever. But then we put in a line that says, okay, you have to kind of assume downtime, like lost profit for the extra time that it's going to take to do the other option. And we don't really know what their P&L looks like, and it depends on what they're making and all the little nuances. So we just put in a number and we say, okay, it's like $1 a square foot per day. And we
okay,
save them so many days. And we present that. We say to the customer, listen, you put whatever number you need in that line. We don't know your P&L. The fellow at this factory, and this was an eye opener for us. He looked at me and he said, "The cost of our downtime makes the cost of your product irrelevant."
that's
That's a
magical.
that's a quote, right? So I'm like, so you mean that I underestimated what the value of your downtime was? He's like, oh, you're not even close. I think he went on to tell me how much, if they lose power, how much money they lose per hour. And it ended up being like, I think the equivalent value was like $1 per square foot per hour of lost production. And we were saving them weeks of downtime. So there's your ROI, right? And that's the true value of it. I've had other customers like this where, you're in the early stages and you're going through the whole pros and cons and line items and they're not really quite getting it, right? So they're like, well, and we do sell the coatings. We sell those as an option for customers. And we were presenting it to this one customer and he's like, I think we like the coatings because the coatings are fairly inexpensive for the material. But when you add in all those others, he's like, no, I think we like the coatings. And I said, all right, well, let's talk about how we're going to, logistically stage this, shutting down your factory. And he looked at me, he's like, what do you mean shut down my factory? I said, well, you got to shut the factory down to do the coatings. You just can't keep things running. He's like, oh, no, wait a second. No, we can't do coatings. Again, it's not necessarily where they even have to go through the math. The idea of stopping production is just not tenable.
Yeah.
To many customers.
Yep. Absolutely. Tom, how do people get a hold of you in Select Tech?
Yeah, they can just give us a call. Our website is selecttech.com, selectech.com. Reach out to us. You can, email us, call us. All our contact information is right there. And like I said, we love helping customers, so please call us.
Yeah, absolutely. Tom, thank you very much. We will be having another episode with you on the other podcast, so everybody stay tuned for that. Tom, really appreciate you joining us today for this episode, for this show. It was a really mind-blowingly eye-opening conversation with you, especially when it comes to that ROI and the fact that companies don't have to shut down. We talked about how this can improve performance, minimize that disruption during installation, and really the money to me is this all supports that sustainable practices and keeping costs under control. So if you're dealing, folks, with subfloor issues, high moisture environments, or need specialized flooring like ESD protection, SelectTech's innovative solutions could be just what you need. Visit their website to learn more about their flooring lines and see how they can support your operational needs. Before you go, make sure to like this episode if you found it helpful, and don't forget to subscribe to the Manufacturing Connector. We have more episodes lined up showcasing other cutting-edge technologies and solutions designed to optimize manufacturing operations. If you've got any questions or topics you'd like us to cover, drop them in the comments below. Thank you for tuning in to the Manufacturing Connector, where we continue to uncover tools and insights that drive the future of manufacturing. See you next time.